When we don't meet the requirements of our requirements, you have to meet those requirements that you are requiring others to meet. Otherwise, it's just a one-sided relationship. Otherwise, it's a double standard. And, how can we really get along that way? How can we really grow and evolve and, just... Up YouTube, I am Shanika Lawrence. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please like and subscribe to my videos. I have so much more in store for you guys. Today we're talking about gender roles, and I felt like this was important to talk about because gender roles in 2022 may not really be something that we actually consider to be a talking point when we're dating. It's actually one of those things that you would put in the category of unspoken expectations. So many times in that dating period, we don't ask those simple questions like, do you like to cook? Do you cut the grass? Do you pay the bills? Are you, okay with being the breadwinner or vice versa? Can you cook? Can you clean? Do you like doing the dishes? Do you wash the dishes? Do you want to put gas in your car? Or do you think that's just something that guys do? It's so many different things, so many different gender roles, but I really believe that this is important because some people are very strict on their gender roles. Some people really live by, men only do this, women only do this. And I think that in 2022, this can be a dangerous way to live your life and to have a healthy marriage and relationship, because if you are so strict to that, then you are easily or obviously unadaptable to when there are changes, and you actually lose the ability to have appreciation for your partner and for what they do in your life or in your relationship. So I will say though that I do believe that although, there is a dangerous side to gender roles, there is a healthy and an unhealthy form of gender roles. The healthy form of gender roles would be any gender roles that have been established through any agreement. So if we have said that, I'm just gonna cut the grass. If the man has said, I'm gonna cut the grass, or, the woman's like, I'm gonna wash the dishes, don't worry about it. Even if it's been sort of switched in a way where, the man is like, I'm gonna cook. I think that healthy gender roles are okay because you have established them through communication and through an agreement. And, with that, again, you're able to be flexible and just to kind of adapt to any changes that you face in your relationship. There is an unhealthy form of gender roles where it is established through strict expectation, where you have immediately said, no way, I am not washing the dishes. No way, I am not cutting the grass. No way, I am not, sitting at home with the kids. No way, I am not going to clean the bathrooms, anything like that. In that mindset, you can tell, it comes from a traditional form of relationship, right? This world in general has evolved from, where we have the traditional forms of our relationships back in the day where it was the woman that stayed at home and it was the woman that cooked and she cleaned. The man went to work and he came home and he had dinner and she did everything, basically on the inside of the house, and the man did everything on the outside of the house all the time. This was just like how it was. Now we have moved into, 2022 where we are more on the modern side of relationships, whereas you may have a woman who is going to work, every day and the man is staying at home, or where you might have the woman was expected to cook before, now the man cooks all the time. But, I wanted to say that, it's important to understand when it comes to, gender roles and in your relationship and in your marriage, it's so important to have 3 different aspects in your relationship. And that is support, responsibility, and leadership. And when I say leadership, I just mean the ability to recognize the need for initiation in any given time. So having leadership and saying that, this needs to be done or this hasn't been done. I believe that, having those mindsets in your relationship, that is really what should replace a gender role in 2022. But again, there are healthy gender roles. So if you guys have decided that I am not going to take the trash out, then I totally understand, because I don't be wanting to take the trash out either. Like I was saying, the dangers with gender roles today is that you are unable to, be flexible and malleable when things change. You have decided that you are not going to take into account when times do change. So there are times when maybe there is a point where the wife is working all the time, or where she loses her job, and vice versa. The husband, he's working all the time, or he might lose his job, and somebody has to take the reins and say, this has to get done. It got to get done. So I have to take the initiative. And this is the definition of teamwork in a marriage. This is truly how we can show appreciation for one another. I think when you step into the shoes of another, you not only, grow in appreciation for them, but then you just also just kind of understand on an empathetic level, the things that you have to do every day, how your time is affected when you do work, or, when you do have things going on and you have to come home and you got to take care of this and that. But I believe that, it's a great sign of our recognition of each other's strengths and weaknesses, because, you do have certain strengths and certain weaknesses in your marriage. And that's why, when you bring you two together and you work through teamwork, that you can really accomplish so much more. It's only so much that you can accomplish by yourself. I think there is a scripture that talks about, two is better than one, because, one has less labor, or one can pick the other up if the other falls. And that is a great principle just to understand and remember when it does come to relationships and marriage, that it is better to work together and really to just distribute your strengths and weaknesses throughout the longevity of your marriage. For the first 10 years of my marriage, I was the one cooking. I cooked all the time, and I was cooking everything. My husband probably cooked a couple times, like literally once or twice or 3 times a year. He barely cooked. At the end of my pregnancy, I just kind of checked out. Like, I was overly tired. I was working a lot, and it was just a lot on my body. And my husband took the initiative to just start cooking and making wonderful dishes that he always makes. And he just began to just cook different dishes throughout the rest of my pregnancy. And even after I was pregnant, I know he doesn't want to say, but I think that he really likes to cook, because his cooking is way better. It's crazy, because it's like, how did I cook for 10 years, but you weren't cooking, and then now you start cooking and your food tastes so good. So now he is like the one that cooks more often than I do. Like, I still will cook, but I don't cook as often as he does. Things have also changed as, a dynamic as in my working. So I used to didn't work as much as I do now. I'm a respiratory therapist. So again, this pandemic has kept me busy, and, I work a lot. So it's very helpful, to come home. Sometimes things are cleaned that weren't cleaned before. Clothes are folded and washed that I left at the house. But because my husband, again, he's taken the initiative to do those things, it makes me so appreciative of just having that partner that really understands, that really is supportive of me and what I'm doing, and just understanding that he has a big part to play. And I also have a big part to play when I'm not at work. This is what I'm doing at home. So this is just, again, the definition of teamwork and what I believe a gender role in 2022 should look like. It should not be a strict form of expectations. It should not be, you do this or this isn't going to happen. I don't think that you should abuse that. If you are a woman and you've been at home all day, and your husband has been at work all day, and you know that you got dirty clothes, you got dirty dishes, you probably should get up and clean the house. The house should be clean when your husband gets home. He shouldn't come home and say, where my food at? It should be, again, initiative that is involved in these. You can't just say, well, there are no gender roles, so I'm going to need you to, clean the bathroom when you've been home all day. You could have cleaned the bathroom yourself. So, you know, it's just things like that that really gels you two together as your marriage prolongs. Everybody helps. This is the rule. Everybody helps. Everybody puts your hand where it's needed. Now, when I say healthy gender roles, my husband, for example, he won't touch the dishes like he has before. You know, I can say in the 13 years that we've been married, he has washed the dishes before, but you know, that's just something that he won't do. Now, he was trying to be funny recently and asked me about going outside cutting the grass, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. So, you know, there are some things that I believe that it's okay to just establish those roles. But if something if something were to temporarily take place where my husband could not cut the grass, of course, you know, I wouldn't let the grass just get real high. I mean, I might call my dad or, you know, my brother or something, but otherwise, you know, if I knew I had to do it, I would do it. But just remember, so much has changed. This is 2022. We cannot be strict about what we expect our partners to do and not be willing to be flexible ourselves. That's really the thing. When we put expectations on people without putting expectations on ourselves, when we don't meet the requirements of our requirements, you know, you have to meet those requirements that you are requiring others to meet. Otherwise, it's just a one-sided relationship. Otherwise, it's a double standard. And, you know, how can we really get along that way? How can we really grow and evolve and, you know, just blossom into this beautiful couple that has really grown in an understanding of one another and of the things that one another does every day? But guys, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to just let you guys know that, you know, you don't have to be ingrained in that traditional way, but we are in a more modern relationship structure in this time and in this day. So, you know, do what works for you and your family. Do what works for, you know, your comfort, your comfortability, because I understand that there are some things that, you know, it's just hard to accept, and you know, that takes time, but just continue again to work together, to remember that teamwork is going to help, being supportive, taking responsibility, you know, for your actions, and then just displaying a level of leadership in your household that's going to really and truly be beneficial to not just you and your spouse, but also to your entire family. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have been getting great value from these videos. I will continue to give you more and more every week. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye.